Welcome to another episode of Augusta Forward TV. And let me tell you, I'm pretty sure you feel the heat, just like I feel the heat. And my colleague, Jason DeHart, who is the Public Information Officer for Augusta Fire and EMA. Jason, I know you feel the heat. Y'all, temperatures are hitting the triple digits this week in our beautiful city of Augusta, Georgia. But there are things we can do to make sure that we stay safe while we are still enjoying the summer. So Jason, first off, thanks for joining us on Augusta Forward TV.
Thank you.
So let's dive right into it. What can we do to stay safe this week? And as temperatures are just going up anyways for the summer.
Yeah, I mean, look, a hot summer in the city of Augusta is nothing unusual for us, right?
Right.
What is unusual is the triple digits that we're going to be seeing this week, and that's the big key, right? We're talking about 99 degrees today, 101 on Tuesday, 101 on Wednesday, and the feels like temperature, right? The heat index is going to be the biggest thing. So really what we're advising people to do is stay indoors in air conditioned buildings, right? If your house has air conditioning, just stay in if you can. If you don't have air conditioning, try to go over to a friend's house and stay there, because the reality is that you may have a fan, but that fan is just going to blow hot air on you. So seek air-conditioned areas, homes, friends' homes, work, that sort of stuff. If you need to be outside, limit your time, right? So, being outdoors, the longer you are, the longer any kind of potential health dangers increase, right? So obviously sunscreen, that's always a big key, but hydration is the other one. Always be drinking water. Stay away from drinks that could possibly lead to dehydration, like alcohol or your carbonated beverages, your sodas and such. So really drink a ton of water. Keep the sunscreen. If you're outside, wear light colored and loose fitting clothing. That way it can kind of breathe and let you sweat and everything else. Dark colors attract more heat, so that'll increase your body temperature quicker. And then, from there, just kind of be aware of yourself. If you feel yourself getting dizzy or feel yourself getting hot or really sweaty, just get back indoors and really try to stay cool.
That's a really great point, because I remember not too long ago, I was out in the heat just a little bit longer than I should have, and I really wasn't hydrated. And I started feeling the symptoms of having either heat exhaustion or a heat stroke. So, and I wasn't right for at least a few days. So it's a real thing. So when you feel those symptoms, don't ignore them.
Yeah,
So,
so when we talk about heat stroke is normally the most common of the two. Heat exhaustion is the most common of the two. Heat stroke is very can be very dangerous.
yeah.
When we get into that, and whether it's stroke or exhaustion, those could both potentially be 911 medical emergencies. So when we talk about heat exhaustion, you're talking about a higher body temperature, right? So you're pushing 101, increased heart rate, your muscles are cramping up, you're dizzy, you may have headaches, and you may start having some nausea and possibly some vomiting there. So those are signs of heat exhaustion. Heat stroke, you're talking about red skin, you stop sweating potentially, you start getting confused, or you start to faint or pass out, and your body temperature reaches 105 plus.
Wow.
So and that can onset seizures as well. So people look at the heat and they go, well, it's just a lot of heat. It's really warm out. I'm just going to sweat more. No, there's potential medical symptoms that can come from this sort of extreme heat that we want people to avoid. That's why, again, air-conditioned homes, stay indoors, all those sort of things. That's why we're telling you to do that. That way, you don't have heat exhaustion or stroke. And that's especially true when we're talking about babies, children, and older adults. Those are the most vulnerable groups that could see any of those dangers. So again, really, it's nice and hot out. You can still be outdoors. Just do your best to limit, to hydrate, and to stay cool as much as possible to prevent any kind of medical emergency.
Thank you so much, Jason, for sharing your expertise with us. And before we close out, is there anything else you might want to add?
So I talked earlier about if you don't live in an air conditioned home, to try to seek in a friend or a family member that you can stay with through this week. The city does have cooling centers open. Those are the 11 community centers. They're open till 5 o'clock. Those are air conditioned units, buildings so that people can go into and just kind of get a break from the heat and everything else during the hottest portions of the day. So again, do what you can to protect yourself. Do what you can through this week. This is middle of June now. We're going to have at least another good 2 more months of these sort of extreme heat temperatures. Hopefully none as bad as what we're going to experience this week, but those resources are available to people.
Thank you so much, Jason. And all of our viewers, please take what Jason has advised. Do your best to stay safe. And please take advantage of our cooling centers offered by the city. Do what you can to stay safe in these rising temperatures. Again, thank you, Jason, for joining us.
Yep.
And thank you, viewers, for doing your part in helping us move Augusta forward. So until next time, take care.